Hey, how's it going, guys? Dan Kitajima here, back with another episode of How to Grow Your Insurance Agency. I just came back from a nice long vacation, family vacation with my family in Hawaii, and I had a lot of opportunities to think about my business there. And when I came back, it just so happened too that I've been reading this book, Buy Back Your Time. Great book by Dan Martell, and learned a lot about how to be a better entrepreneur at this stage in my career here. And as agency owners, we got a lot of responsibilities. So the first thing I did was just figure out a plan for me to be less busy, because before I left, I was just so busy, had so many responsibilities, and with the market and the conditions of all the carriers and companies, I was just under tremendous amount of stress. A lot of changes were happening, and I almost felt like I was about to have an anxiety attack. I could just feel it coming, and I was just really happy that I had a great time with my family, being in nature. As you can tell, I got a little bit of sun and just had a great time. And now I'm back and wanted to be able to enjoy my time a little bit more. So first thing I did was started delegating some of my duties. So we now have an agency manager. It really reminds me of the time where I was just really doing a lot of sales and just only had a few employees, and I was just really good at sales. Well, at least I felt I was really good at sales, and I let that duty go and I had somebody else do the selling. And at first I felt really awkward about it. I wasn't really sure it was going to work out. Was the closing ratio going to be good? Are the leads really going to be worked on? But that was one of the best decisions I've ever made. Now we have 23 employees here, and a lot of them are doing sales, and I don't do any of that. Now at this step in my career, what I'm letting go of is management. And management is a very important job, but I feel like some of my staff members are ready to do that. So we have an agency manager here, and she's going to do pretty much what a lot of things I do. And I also have somebody who's more in charge of paperwork and keeping things organized, and I'm giving her more duties there, such as setting out the morning reports that I used to do. I even gave her my Amazon account so she could order things. There's just so many things that I couldn't believe I did, and this book taught me to audit every single activity I do, write it down, and then start giving it away, because I could do what I really like to do, which we'll get into a little bit later. So here are some of the duties that I was doing that I no longer do anymore. Answering all sales questions. So with 10 plus companies and so many staff members, I would just get bombarded throughout the day. Hey, does this company, what type of requirements do they have? Or can we reinstate these policies? How many days? There's just so many details about not only customer service, but sales, commercial, life insurance. And I haven't been doing a lot of sales for a while, so I'm just not the right person to go to. But as a manager, I like to help, and that's what a manager should do. A manager should always be there to help your staff members, maybe give them a redirection, making them believe in each other. Here's another book I've been reading, The New 1 Minute Manager. Great book also that I'm going to share with my new managers. First thing first, all sales questions don't go to me anymore. Please don't ask them. I don't know. And we have an agency manager that's going to be in charge of helping you with all the questions. If you just got your license, you need to learn how to write homeowners insurance. Are we writing mobile homes now? Are we writing motor homes? No, I just don't know. We got a right person to ask now. Sales training. So I used to do sales training, role playing, those type of jobs. Also, my capacity is too high. I just can't do anything to figure out how to have regular scheduled sales training, which is very important. So that is her responsibility as well. Leads distribution, working with the leads management system, the round robin, seeing who's in, seeing who's out, making sure the leads are going to the right persons, making sure the leads are being worked on time. So I told my staff, hey, you don't have to kiss my butt for leads anymore, because I'm not the person that's distributing them anymore. Attendance updates. So this is just whenever you have a scheduled time off, if you need to request time off, don't come to me anymore. We have somebody that's going to be in charge of that. Also, if you need to call out, if you're late from lunch, or if you're going to be late in the mornings, or if you have any issues with babysitters, any type of things like that, you got to let somebody else know, because in my mornings, I want to be here working on things. I don't want to get text messages that you're going to be late, things like that. And then updating our schedule, Saturday schedules, who's working on Saturdays, who's got the late shift cover, all that type of stuff, I'm not going to be able to do it anymore. And here's a big one, recruiting. So recruiting is a big job, and I still will be involved in that, but the initial phone calls, well, I wouldn't again, I was just so busy. I wouldn't even make any phone calls. I would just wait till they call me, or they really made an effort, and it just wasn't getting things done as far as the number of people we have to hire. So having a recruiting manager, I feel so much better now that, you know, we have somebody making the initial contact, talking to them, screening them, having them take assessment tests, doing video interviews, and I really just want to be there at the end and really giving her the power to make a lot of the decisions there when it comes to who's going to join our team. And I feel that's going to really speed up the process of us scaling our agency here. Compliance. So this is another major subject here, especially for our agency, but having someone in charge of compliance is so important for us. We've done this before I came back from Hawaii, but someone who's in charge of just reviewing all policies, making sure everything is done the right way, looking at the details, because again, as an entrepreneur who has a lot of tasks that I have to do, compliance is something that I just don't have the ability to oversee 23 employees, seeing what they're doing and knowing all the rules for 10 different companies. So compliance is also something that is this new agency manager is in charge of. And then retention. So retention, you know, when it comes to retention, it's pretty simple. We need to keep our customers happy. So there's only two things I really want them to focus on is when a customer calls, we pick up right away. And then two, if they miss a call or if after hours there's a voicemail, then return their voicemails right away. I'm really big on that. I've always been big on that. So we're having a customer service manager as well, just making sure that calls are getting returned, calls are being answered, everybody's on the phones working hard, and that way I don't have to be out there. And then also screening some calls, making sure the pending cancellation lists are being called, pending renewal lists are being called. Somebody else to really take a deep dive into making sure we have the best retention as possible. And then discipline. You know, I feel like I'm a pretty good manager overall, but if I lack anything, it's just having the ability to discipline my staff members. I think I am just overall maybe too nice. I like to keep things positive, don't like to have awkward conversations. So I'm really good at giving praise. And I think as a manager, it's really important to make sure you recognize them. And I do that, I appreciate them, and I do that to a very high level, but I don't do enough of, hey, we can do better here. You're late, what's happening here? Hey, now this is how many, so, you know, having some procedures as far as like, hey, you called out this many times this quarter, we got to do this, having discipline, having rules. So negative reinforcement is also important, or redirection, maybe we could call them, is very important, but I just wasn't doing that because it just wasn't my favorite thing to do. So this customer service manager, she's not scared to speak her mind, call people out, and she's already doing that. And I feel like that's really going to help our operation too. And it's going to make our staff members better. You know, it's just all coming out of love. We just am here to help them become better professional, responsible staff members. And that is what she's going to be able to do. So all this stuff is great. You know, I'm really happy. I almost feel a sense of relief that all this task I'm not going to have to do. And it's going to help me with a couple things. Well, two, it's going to make my job more enjoyable because I have just less things to do. But also, it's going to help me do what I really like to do. And what I really like to do is come up with marketing ideas, you know, make content for marketing ideas and coming up with sales campaigns. I think that's just stuff I generally like to do, and I just haven't had any time to work on anything like that. So using my creative side, figuring out what type of products maybe we could offer, and coming up with a lead management system, what type of messaging we'll be sending to clients, and things like that to increase more sales. I'm a big fan of that. And other things that I'm thinking big vision, I think those are things that I get to work on from now on, so which makes me more excited about coming into work too. So all you agency owners and business owners out there, I know you guys got a lot on your plate. Go ahead and delegate more, empower your people. They'll even do a better job than you at most of these tasks because they'll be more focused in on it, and just want you guys to not be too spread thin where you're just stressed out and you have a million things to do and you're not spending enough time with your family. So this is a great lesson for me to learn this year. Just want to share with you guys. If you have any questions, put in the comments, or if you have any comments, let me know too, because this is a big part of my growth and I'm really enjoying it. So until next time, thanks for watching guys. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Until next time, let's get it. Stay hungry.